The book Prairie Winter is about a girl named Rachel who loved going to school. But in January a huge snowstorm came. It was the first snowfall of January, and Rachel was nervous. Rachel didn't want to miss school because she loved it so much. At recess Rachel looked up at the sky and noticed the clouds thickening, and the air getting heavy. Knowing that this snowstorm was coming, Rachel dreaded knowing she would have to do farm work in the nasty weather that was brewing. Rachel had to stay home from school for one day. But Rachel and her family, thinking the snow has ended, was wrong. In the middle of January, Rachel and her two sisters Carol and Kim were off to school. All three were off to the bus, when their dad stopped them to put on their heavy coats and overshoes. Kim complained about having to put them on, but her dad stopped her mid-sentence, and said we are supposed to get another storm. And by later morning the wind picked up and snow started falling. Hearing one of Rachel's best friends Winnie say, "How many days will we miss now?" made Rachel sick to her stomach. Then the school announced that school will be let out early. All the kids jumped up and down in excitement, but Rachel did not. On the bus ride home, the snow fell harder and harder, and the wind picked up to 50 miles per hour. Then Les, who was the bus driver, got stuck in a pile of snow. Rachel was so nervous, tears filled her eyes. Les went to go get help, and said for all the kids to stay in the bus. Then everybody started getting nervous, since Les didn't get back anytime soon. To ease everyone's mind and keep everyone calm, everyone started singing. An hour later Les was back with help. At night and several days after, Rachel and the kids on the bus stayed at the Hart's farm. When Rachel got back home, her and her two other sisters were so happy to see their mother, brother, sister and dad. The second day back at their house, the girls received awesome news. All the girls, including their father, found out that their mom was pregnant. Then Rachel, Carol and Kim found out that they had to move into town. The girls jumped in excitement, but Rachel thought about Susie not being able to go. While the girls were getting their things together, their mom was talking to Susie about not going. Rachel could hear Susie sobbing, and Mom tried to calm her. Finally their mom got Susie calm, and she ran up and gave all three sisters a hug goodbye. Then their mom gave them a kiss and a hug. On the way to town, Carol, Rachel and Kim couldn't keep calm. They were too excited. Their stay in town was great, but somewhat boring. Seeing Mom, Dad, Matthew and Susie was awesome, but staying home and hanging out was even more awesome. How did you feel when the bus got stuck and Les wasn't back anytime soon?
At first I thought we weren't stuck, but when I found out we were, my heart started racing, and I was trembling. I couldn't stop the tears from rolling down my cheeks. When Les said he would be back soon, and wasn't, that got my mind racing. I always think of this ending of this book called Giants in the Earth, when people go out in snowstorms. I think of Hans Ola, and how he was laying against a haystack dead. I thought Les would be dead somewhere.
How excited were you when you found out you were going to town?
I was so excited. Knowing that I would be able to go to school again, and getting to see all my friends. I was also excited to go band rehearsal. But one thing that kind of killed my excitement, was how my younger sister Susie wasn't going to be able to go. But when she was calmed and okay with me going, I had the most fun I could have.
How was staying at the Hart's farm?
Staying at the Hart's farm was a lot of fun. Being able to wake up late and to not do yard work was the best. Mrs. Hart made the best breakfast in the morning. I loved being able to hang with my friends every day, especially David. But toward the end of my stay, Devon and Dick scared me and David half to death. They acted like they got attacked by a tramp.
Why were you worried about Mom and Dad?
I was worried because the storm was powerful. The snow and the wind could cause power outages, which would leave Mum, Dad, Matthew and Susie without heat. Also, Dad went to the sale today, so I was worried he wouldn't be home, and he was stuck somewhere. Then I was worried that they didn't know where me and my two other sisters were, so we called a radio station to send out a message saying we are okay. But I thought that they didn't get it because the power at my house was out.
How did you feel when you saw Mom, Dad, Matthew and Susie after several weeks?
It was amazing to see them. I missed them so much, that I worried about them every night before I would go to bed. Being able to see them and go home made me feel extremely happy. I missed Susie a lot, and when she ran up to me and gave me a hug first, it was very heartwarming. It was good seeing Mum, and how good she looked, and not sick. Seeing Dad was good too, but nothing changed about him.
The book Prairie Winter is a great book. I especially love the ending. I loved how Bonnie Geiser was talking about the band concert in Chicago at the end, and how she ended the book with. Ironically, we traveled the 700 miles by train, in a snowstorm. I would recommend this to anyone that likes seasonal books, because they are sequels to the book, which is about the other seasons. I enjoyed the book a lot. I would definitely read more books by this author.